This is called changing fractions to decimals. 1/2 is changed to 5/10. A fourth is also known as 25/100. Let's look at these four figures. Each one of them has a different amount shaded. Who can name the first one? And the second, how much is shaded? And the third. And lastly, so we have 1/2, a third, an eighth, and a fourth. What we are going to do today is change our fractions into decimals. Let's look at our fractions. In order to change these fractions into decimals, you have to simply divide the numerator by the denominator. Let's look at the first one, 1/2. If I take 1 and divide it by 2, I get 5/10. The second one, again, I'm going to divide the numerator, which is 1, by the denominator, which is 3. 1 divided by 3, and I get 33/100. Again, 1/8, I'm going to divide the numerator 1 by the denominator 8 to get 13/100. And my next one, I'm going to take my numerator 1 and divide it by my denominator 4, and I get 25/100. Moving on. Again, let's look at our next two. We have a little bit more difficult problems, 3/8 and 5/8. Again, in order to change from a fraction to a decimal, you're going to divide the numerator, which is the top number, by the denominator, which is the bottom number of the fraction. So, if we look at the first one, which is 3/8, and I take my 3 and I divide it by 8, I get 38/100. And if I look at my next problem and I take my 5 and I divide it by 8, I get 62/100. Now it's time for you guys to try and see how much you've learned. You're going to go ahead and change the following three fractions into decimals. The first one is 1/5. The second fraction is 2/3. The third fraction is 4/5. Let's check out the answers. 1/5 is 20/100. 2/3 is 66/100, and 4/5 is 80/100.